My name is DJ K-1. DJ K-1. My name is DJ K-1. My name is DJ K-1.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 78 of the K-1 Agenda. Back again, episode 78, K-1 Agenda. I would like to talk about Detroit DJs and the electronic, or should I say electro legacy. There's a lot of DJs in Detroit who play electro. They still been playing electro. This is just my personal opinion. I mean, there's a lot of good electro out there. I will speak on that because a lot of these DJs are still, real clicky. I mean, learn your history about electro music. And when I say that, I mean a lot of these DJs who are, still playing the same songs. I mean, I love Cybertron. I know Juan Atkins. I love that music too. But, there is more than just that. Groups like Drexciya and AUX88, which I co-founded, we were doing it when no one else was doing it and, started that whole scene. Not that you DJs don't know. There's a lot of great DJs who know all about the legacy and they play a little bit of everything. But just keep in mind, don't always just play the same music that came out in the 90s, man. Explore. I was a DJ, so I know what I'm talking about because I always kept up with all the latest music and all the latest styles from different groups. A lot of groups, they went on to aspire and become greater and make better music. And the same thing for DJs. You should aspire to do things different and uplift this music, not just electro, but I'm speaking more on electro, but just go out there and doing your DJ sets and doing what you do instead of trying to copy what someone else is doing or the styles that someone else is playing or just the same tracks or just doing tricks all through a show. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of DJs. All the top DJs in Detroit I do know, and some of the international DJs I know. But, I would just say to people, try to learn, the legacy. So when you speak on who's the greatest and all this type of stuff, man, speak on the people who brought it back. So no matter what you say, you're going to have to bring to the discussion Drexciya, AUX88. And I think I put a lot into what electro became and what it is now. That's not speaking from cockiness. It's just speaking facts. It took a while for me to even think that way because I used to just be aspiring just to put out all my music. But as the years gone by and I look at all the music that I've done and all the places I've been, places I've traveled, relationships I've made, it's created a drive in me and I've gotten respect that sometimes it's not something that you should ask for or demand. It's just something that you get. And now I understand that. So, I mean, I can go on all day. I don't want to speak too long on that, but I'm just saying, hey, all you guys just starting out doing electro or doing this music, and I'm just speaking for the Detroit people. Please, man, just do your thing and don't try to copy what everybody else is doing. And don't stay stuck in a time, Go with the flow. You got to show what other people have done, new music. I know for a fact with stuff I've done, I have music from the 90s on up that I have music that I've never heard played on the radio here in Detroit that is 10 times better than what I did in the 90s. But, I don't really care about radio sales because my music sells And, Detroit is not what it used to be. It's just a lot of guys just doing what they do to, just appease people. But, appease yourself and try to uplift yourself so you can be different. That's all. I won't speak on that anymore. I just wanted to also say, this week I did complete my Optic Nerve live show. Is completed my first show, which is 1 hour. I think it's about 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes, and I'm just fine tuning it and working on it. And I will be creating like probably 3 to 4 other ones. One that has visuals, one that's a little bit shorter, and one with different styles of Optic Nerve stuff. So, and I'll have something with probably some vintage old Optic Nerve stuff, some stuff I did when I first created the group Optic Nerve. Looking forward to that. I should be having some news very soon about a first show. It's more of a special show with a limited audience. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll have more news soon. Also, I spoke on it last week. People, do pick up the new Optic Nerve Uncharted LP t-shirt. You can get all the information listed below to pick up that new shirt in any format, be it cups, t-shirts, hoodies, short sleeve shirts, baseball shirts, anything like that you want. And also you can pick up all my designs, which you'll find out later on. I have more information on that where you can get that. And once again, it's all always listed below in social media links and stuff. Also, keep in mind, Optic Nerve shows are going to be coming in 2022, and you can contact my booking agent, Daniel, at Connect Bookings. And once again, I want to send a special shout out to Daniel because we talk frequently, and I like to just say thank you, Daniel. You do a great job. It's a pleasure working with you because you handle your business and you look out for me as well as looking out for all the other artists. And I also want to send a special shout out to Daniel because he's still keeping, that drive alive for Mike Huckabee, the late Mike Huckabee, who was on Connect Bookings. And I just want to send a special heavenly shout out to Mike Huckabee. We miss you, man. And you were a great, just a great legend in the scene and aficionado of all types of music. Miss you, Mike. Rest easy. On that note, we'll see you next week. And once again, everybody, if you want to book me, please contact Daniel at connectbookings.com. Thank you. Puzzlebox Records news. Put you up on the newest releases. Brand new coming late November is the Bass in Space collaboration with me and Black Tony. It's coming on Under the Radar Records, and the name of the EP is called Bass in Space with Electro lyrics from Black Tony. And this track, the first track is more for the jitters and a really fast electro music, and then there's some conceptual tracks on the other side, and also a remix of Androgynous electro mix that you can pick up. Please pick that up. That's coming late November. Also, pick up the newest collaboration I did with the Slam DJs, and the EP is called Louder Than Chaos, Volume 1. The name of the track that's done with me and Slam is called Machine Conflict. Pick that up. That's just been released. Also, pick up the newest released is Binary System by Microthol from the Vienna, Austria label Trust. And I have a remix of the track Binary System, which is my remix, the K-1 remix, which is on there along with the Exaltics and DJ Stingray. So please pick that up. Also pick up this year another release that I did called the Robotics EP on Mechatronica Records with Anthony Rother, DJ Digital, and myself. And my track is very different, and I'm very proud of the track that I put on here. I really like that EP. I feel like any Electro fans, you better pick it up because it's truly 3 great tracks on that EP, and I was really glad to do that. Also, pick up Electro Ghetto Tech with me, myself, and DJ Godfather. This will be I think we did a couple of collaborations, but this is the only one that came out. This is Electro Ghetto Tech. I did the electronic vocals and a lot of the synth work on here. It's on Database Records and it's distributed by Clone Records. Also pick up my first incarnation on Soma Records. I will be doing, I believe, 1 to 2 more EPs on Soma Records. And the first release that I did that was put out this year is called Far Away, which has a remix by Strand. Also has a digital comic by Kyle Irvine. Pick this up. The EP is entitled Far Away on Soma Records. It's a digital only release. So you can pick up the information below, once again, in the social media links to pick up this track. And last but not least, this year that I released my first album in a few years. It's the Optic Nerve LP entitled Uncharted. It's a space opera on Axis Records underneath the Escape Velocity banner of releases. It was just released in March. Pick it up. It's one of my favorite albums that I've done, and I'm looking forward to doing a couple of tracks, just maybe 2, maybe 3 tracks. I think it'll be 2 that'll be in my first live show, which is information coming up. I like to add a little bit from everything that I've done this year is going to be on that first show that I'm doing. Once again, I'll have information about that next week. And keep in mind, every records that was released in the last 2 years are all back in stock for Puzzlebox. That includes PBX 32, Stargazing, with the collaboration with me and Doppler Effect. Once again, that's PBX 32. We have a limited edition that repressing of that particular EP, which is called Stargazing, with the gold color vinyl, as you can see right here. Pick that up. Also, back in stock is PBX3 Face Your Fate with me and Black Tony, which is a classic release that we did in the 90s. Pick that up. Also pick up PBX 8.5 Electropathics EP, another collaboration with me and Black Tony, which is coming out, not coming out. We have new pressings of it. That's back in stock as well. Also pick up PBX 4 Automaton EP. Very proud of this release. As I mentioned in the past weeks, I really like all the artwork that I've done for all my releases and stuff. It's something that I pride myself on. Pick that up. It's a classic Electro EP. Also, pick up Modular World, my Electro EP under the moniker of K-1. Pick that up, PBX 29. Also pick up the latest Alien FM release, Monochromatic Images, with group members Black Tony and me, K-1. Also, I have a special guest appearance from my daughter on there doing some electronic spoken word vocals, which she's been featured on a few of my tracks in the past. Pick that up. That's PBX 30, Monochromatic Images. Also pick up the re-release, which is finally on vinyl, Mad Scientist. AUX88 presents Mad Scientist. That's PBX 31. AUX88 presents Mad Scientist voice modulation with the great Tommy Hamilton and myself when I was last in AUX88. It was a very fun project. Mad Scientist did very well, and you should get ready because it's finally going to be available. The original mixes are coming all on vinyl. This is just the first volume 1 that I'm putting out that's on vinyl that features the original tracks, not the remixes, the original tracks. So pick that up. Hey, people, and you also have to remember to pick up the latest and greatest Puzzlebox Records, which is PBX 33. That's the newest release, which is Strand meets Optic Nerve. Yep, I'm prejudiced. Those are my boys. Love them. They make great music. This is a collaboration we did years ago, and also we did a new track early this year, Factor It In, which the late, did I say late? I'm sorry. The great Catch did a lot of this track and then handed it off to the Strand brothers, Brian Bonds and Brian Boyer. It's called Factor It In. You got to check out my Electro remix on there as well as the original version. So on that note, I just put you up on all the new releases. I also put you up on all the new vinyl that's in stock for all the distributors. And keep in mind, distributors, if you want to get this music, please email distribution at puzzleboxrecords.com, and that's only available to wholesale for wholesalers. Thank you very much. See you in the next Puzzlebox News. Everybody, listen, 35% off at least 2 to 3 times a month on all this product. Like I said, t-shirts, mugs, coffee mugs, cups, pillows, tapestry, hoodies, baseball shirts, short sleeve shirts, phone cases. Man, you can get so much, and it has all the designs for all the logos that I've done over all these years, and I have more coming. And keep in mind, you can get this shipped pretty much from your own country, so you're going to save on shipping. Pick the stuff up now. Go get it. K-1 out. Question of the week. Question of the week is, and remember, people, if you have any questions that you would like answered, hit me up on Puzzlebox at puzzleboxrecords.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. The question for this week was, let's see. Okay. It says, how long have you been doing electronic music live shows? Wow, man, I've been doing electronic music since live shows, performing them since about, I graduated in 80, I would say like about 1986, 1987. I've been performing live shows since then. And back then when we did it, we didn't have any computer. We didn't have any sequencers. All we had was drum machines and keyboards, and we played the keyboard lines all the way through. So, hey, man, it's been going on since 86, 87. AUX88 was created in 1988. So we've been doing it a long time, as well as myself. I mean, it took me a while to, I wouldn't say it took me a while to do it. It was just something I discovered that I didn't even think that I would be good at, playing keyboards and, staying in time and, doing the vocals and doing live shows, coming up with concepts and ideas. And then through the 90s, 2000s, all of that, man, traveled the world doing all this stuff. And then it in turn made me create visuals that went with the live shows and all that type of stuff. And, a lot of the shows consisted of, early on was just, we wanted to be serious in front of the keyboards and doing sort of like the craft work type thing. But it got to the point where our music was a lot more energized. So we started doing more, banter with the crowd and crowd chanting and all that type of stuff. And then it just became what it was. And we just got to the point that we got so confident, like when you come to our shows or you come to anything that I'm doing that was under the Electro moniker of AUX88, RX7, K-1, any of the electro stuff, it was like you coming to party, have a good time. And that's what we did. We put it down. And I was always so proud that one thing that I pushed and I thought was a very good idea, that we played cover tunes of other electronic artists that we admired, because it showed the skill of what we could do. Because we found out later, a lot of them artists, they didn't perform live and they couldn't even recreate their music. We were just amazed. They're like, you made this music, but you can't recreate it. So, that was something that we found. It was a gift that we had. And I'm proud of that. So once again, great question. Started about 86, 87, doing performing live shows. So I think I have some skin in the game and know what I'm talking about. And that was a fun time. Once again, anybody, if you have any questions, please email Puzzlebox Records at puzzleboxrecords.com. No, I'm sorry. That's Puzzlebox at puzzleboxrecords.com. Thank you. Vintage pics and old video. Well, this week I want to show you some more vintage pictures of me from my high school days, which is I was DJing back in high school. I used to do some of the school dances. I did a couple of proms after high school. And even when I was in high school, I did some other proms for other schools and stuff. So here's a couple of pictures, man, of me back in the day. And, you know, I graduated in 1984 from Denby High School on Kelly Road. So these pictures were really a fun time. You see see some of my best friends that I've been knowing. Some of these guys I've been knowing since elementary, man. And we had so much fun. And I was always support. I used to like when I used to do parties, man. It was like it'd be so many people come from all around, from the east side, west side, to come see me if I was doing parties and stuff. Even in high school, we used to do stuff on the west side and do a whole lot of stuff. So that was a fun time, and I hope you enjoy these vintage pictures. I'll be putting you up on them every week. The vintage video for this week will be once again from the portrait of the electronic band, and that's from the documentary that we did for AUX88. And this one is me speaking about the group Oct-29. Oct-29 is a techno group from Detroit. It's the Burton Brothers, and this is just me talking about, I don't know, I'm not sure if we even used, I think we used pieces of this, but this is the full unedited video portion where I talked about the Burton Brothers. A lot of people didn't know, you know, when Direct Beat was created, they thought the label was owned by AUX88. They thought we owned the label. No, it wasn't. It was owned by the Oct-29 and the group Oct-29 from 430 West. That's the Burton Brothers, Lenny, Lawrence, and Lionel. Those guys own the label. And we didn't know that they liked electro. Make a long story short, Black Tony turned in the tape. He turned in more than one tape. He turned in our house music stuff and he turned in some electro. They heard and they said, man, we're about to create an electro label based on you guys' stuff. We didn't know you guys could do stuff that sounded like Cybertron. So that's how we got started. And this is just a video piece of me talking about the Burtons, you know, the relationship between the Burtons. So check this out. Working relationship with them, they were always about, I have to give them credit, it wasn't about them trying to get props, it was always about trying to give us props. Always very assured of themselves, and which kind of made us feel good, you know. And we had a lot of ideals though early on. I think that kind of was wearing on them, like artwork. We wanted our own artwork. We wanted to perform live, and that was something that at the time they were saying, no, you guys got to be good if you're gonna do that. And we were like, man, that's what we do, you know. I think more over the years we had more dealings with Lenny. Lenny was the one who pretty much ran everything, and you could call Lenny, get an answer, call Lenny, get a meeting, you know. Lawrence was kind of in the background, and then I know after a while we stopped seeing Lionel, because I think he ended up just becoming just a working guy and kind of was like a third party owner of the label of 430 West. But I always had a pretty good relationship with Lenny. I could exactly tell him exactly what I wanted to do or my ideals and everything. And Lawrence used to be very friendly, and I think eventually, like after they started doing more of their own 430 West stuff, he started becoming a little bit more quieter. Every time we asked him something, he was kind of standoffish, never answered you and stuff. But you know, as a whole, I have to say, man, you know, they had a time working with us, because I was usually the one that kind of would go off at a drop of a hat. But you know, if they ever needed anything or they wanted something from us, they contacted me. I don't know what Tommy's relationship was with them afterwards, but I know when I left, I still would see them from time to time, and they were always very, you know, hospitable and would speak and everything. But as the years grew on, me and Lawrence just didn't get along. I didn't like that once they disbanded the label, which I wasn't even on the label anymore anyway after '95. I just didn't like a comment that was said about the music, like it wasn't, they was ready to get rid of all of this crap anyway, and I'll never forget that. And you know, I remember the thing about pushing the live show envelope. That was the thing. It was like, nah, y'all just need to be worried about having a DJ, which keep you DJ, so you need to be going out. Never forgot that either. Now, how things have turned and everything is different with this whole live show thing. We were instrumental in doing that really early on and pushing for that. But you know, as label owners, which we found out later, we didn't know that Lawrence was the person who owned Direct Beat. We always thought it was Lenny because that's who we dealt with in business. But you know, on the whole, man, with the way they handled us, because we was young, you know, angry, trying to come in telling them what to do when they're the ones who were running the label in turn early on, you know, putting money in there. And in turn, we found out it was, you know, Submerge, you know, the machine, which was Mike Banks, behind the whole thing, you know. But they all kind of worked in tandem to help us out. And, you know, I always respected them for that. And every time I see them, you know, very cordial. I still don't really, I don't really get along too well with Lawrence. But anybody who really knows Lawrence early on knows he was a really nice person. But I don't know what happened now. He's not that friendly at all. But on a whole, I thank those brothers for giving us a chance and standing behind us and helping us out. Yes, that was fun. Well, it was a lot of work putting that together. We hoped that we could have gotten the Burton brothers to be a part of the documentary, but they said they were really busy. And, you know, we've always had turmoil with them, but I was glad that, you know, about almost 10 years ago since that documentary was out. And I was glad that it's on film for forever, that, you know, they'll know, even if I never see them again, how I appreciate what they did and how much work they put into helping us out. And once again, salute to the Burton brothers. Thank you for giving us our start and, you know, believing in us, man, and sticking with us and putting our music out, putting their money in the game, as well as Mike Banks, putting their money in the game, putting out music that we did and working hard to promote it. Thanks again. And on that note, guys, I'll see you on the next week's Vintage Pictures and video. Thanks. Shoutouts. This week's shoutouts, once again, I'm gonna have to take more drastic measures in finding out some more information on my brother. But once again, everybody, if you have any information, here's my brother's picture. His name is Mark Antonio Tucker. Please reach out to me if you have my phone number, which I'm not gonna put up here. But if you have my email, you can email me at puzzlebox@puzzleboxrecords.com, so we can catch up and find my brother. And get him back in the fold and find out where he's at, so we can just, you know, check on him and get back with my brother. So please, people, if you know my brother, please get back with me and or have him contact me through social media or email. My cell phone number hasn't changed. When I last saw him, he should have that number. But we're going to reach out, and I'm going to have to look into, in the next couple of weeks, some more drastic measures of finding my brother. But on that note, people, thank you for all the heartfelt messages. A lot of people send me messages about it and hope, you know, that I find my brother and, you know, give me pointers on what I should do. And that's the most appreciated. My parents and all my family appreciate that. So, guys, thank you very much. On that note, I want to send a special shout out. I was thinking about him today. I need to hit him up because I want to send a special shout out to Gerald Brunson. Gerald Brunson is a great visualist. You know, I just remember when I went out to do the last Optic Nerve shows, which was about a year and a half ago. You know, I was going over to do a little mini tour, just me, with doing my Optic Nerve stuff, and then Gerald was just like, "Man, I'll meet you there." I'm like, "What?" And Gerald I gave him the tracks, and he was like, "What do you want the visuals to be like?" He met me at the gigs and did the visuals. That's just the kind of drive that he has, and he's done a lot to help AUX88, as well as Juan Atkins with Model 500, some stuff for Submerge and his own record label. And I just want to send shouts out. He's a very hard worker, man. The guy got so much energy. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm gonna reach out and contact you. I really like what you did for me in the last live shows. It was really nice, and I was really well received. And I want to thank Tresor for doing everything I needed for that show and just, you know, doing it big. Thank you, and it was a great night. Hope to have more nights like that in 2022. On that note, I just want to send a special shout out. I got really emotional last week talking about my mother, but I want to send a shout out to my mother and father, who's always been there for me, supporting me. Love you guys. And I want to say, I know what I've done in the past. I know what I'm doing now. And the future is looking bright because I'm never going to give up. I'm going to keep doing all this. Thank you, people. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all your support. And we're going to keep on doing this. Believe it or not, this is episode 78. See you next week.
DJ K-1.